And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, always providing you the timely truth, centered around 80 different categories of consumer advocate content right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate program right here, helping you win in any marketplace, real estate, finance, estate, and tax planning. We're going to talk today with Florida Firearms Academy about gun safety and protecting yourself, concealed carry permit as well here today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to make sure you save our hotline number because it's all about engagement here. We've been getting an uptick in calls lately, and it's about making connections with our radio family, our TV shows as well on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, and about 85 other smart television outlets. Search Binge Networks. That's our host network on TV is Binge Networks. And, of course, our radio and TV show. We want to help you by entertaining, providing information, education, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so that we can help you win. So save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. All of the expert contributors, their videos and contact information is right there on the site. And we got a veterans event coming up very soon here on the 12th. This is going to be on Thursday, September 12th. Catered food from Amici's Catered Cuisine. It's the Veterans and Heroes Real Estate Success Summit. Captain Matt Bruce, a nationally syndicated talk show host. Myself, we're going to have Diane Vance, mortgage expert, William Crowley, credit expert, Patrick Highland, insurance expert, all talking about ways that we can help the veterans, first responders, seniors live a better life by looking at some of the programs that they may not know they have access to. So check us out on Thursday, September 12th. It's going to be at American Legion Post number 5, which is on Kennedy Boulevard in South Tampa, and we would love to see you there. Please support that event. Share it, like it, tweet it, get it out to everybody. It's going to be September 12th, Thursday, American Legion Post 5, 3810 West Kennedy Boulevard. Again, catered food, free event. So support our veterans by sharing and bringing folks to that event here in Tampa Bay. And in studio today, we got Thomas King in the house. Welcome back in, Thomas.
It's always a pleasure to be on your amazing show, and I'm just enjoying my hurricane-free day here in Tampa.
That's right. That's right. Our thoughts and prayers go out with those folks in the Bahamas, and we're going to have an update coming from Juan Conchero. He is the president of the On the Upwind Flying Club as well. He's going to be flying some supplies down there. Former show partner, also Captain Will Smith.
That's great.
Will Smith Aviation, going to be getting involved down there. And Richard Garcia in studio today, USCCA. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me. Yes, this is awesome to be here. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Absolutely. What are we going to talk about today?
So we're talking about the USCCA, talk about what it covers, why it's applicable to have it in place, especially if you're looking to carry, especially if you also have less than lethal. Most individuals, especially here in Florida, do carry a firearm or have something on their person, either at their home, when they're traveling, and the USCCA will cover them following a self-defense incident. It's good to have something like this in place because you don't want to have something happen and then you're scrambling trying to find, a lawyer, paying for bail, paying for court costs, filing costs, sheriff costs. This is what the USCCA is all about, as well as educating individuals to be, responsible gun owners and having training already in place. So
that's awesome. What percentage of Americans have a concealed permit carry? Do you know? Would you guess? Would you take a guess on that?
There's a lot right now, especially here in Florida.
Yeah.
Out of everybody,
we're
is it like
ranked up there.
I wonder if it's a third of the people.
It'd probably be around a third.
Yeah,
probably about a third.
Yeah, Florida has the most concealed carry individuals, and it's
That does make you feel safer, too.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going out these days. You know someone out there, a law-abiding citizen, will have a firearm on them to protect someone from a crazy mass shooter.
We just hope they go to Florida Firearms and make sure they're tightened up with their target.
That's why we have 40 different types of classes there.
That's right. Yeah, so, all right, so we're going to jump into that. Let me plug our sponsor here for this segment. We've got Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They are a first-class organization, and I can say that from first firsthand experience. They moved my family to our new home, and they did a great job. First, Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check them out online. They've got 4.6 rating on Google, the highest in the Bay Area, A rating in the Better Business Bureau, A rating on Angie's List. And whether you're planning a local or even a long-distance move across the country, reach out to Brothers Easy Moving. And I got a hot listing on the beach. I want to let you know about this one, 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. This is the north side of the beach, so you are literally 200 steps from the beautiful beaches of North Clearwater Beach. And our PlatinumMVPTeam.com website, you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. But this is one of my favorite properties, this Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. Literally, you got Hulk Hogan as a neighbor. If you move into this neighborhood, you've got the CEO of Spanx. This is the place to be in North Clearwater Beach. You're close to the Tampa International Airport and the malls and everything as well at that beautiful property there. So we also have some vacant land available, lots of land. I've got about a half a dozen or so vacant land parcels, but we've got one here at Boy Scout Road and Burrell Road, right off of Tarpon Springs Road in Odessa. So if you live in Odessa, you live in that area, you've cut through that road before, kind of going over to Dale Mabry, over to Gun Highway. You've got Tarpon Springs Road, and then Boy Scout Road takes you back to Tampa. That's the one that you've driven on. You've made a right turn there and heading back to Tampa. But this is 10 acres, and you've got two custom home sites, 5-acre home sites right there on Lake Jackson. Beautiful property. Owner is motivated. The price is $2.498 million for both. I also have a pocket listing right around the corner across the street on another property that's only $150,000 for a lakefront lot. So beautiful properties, compliments of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. That's my wife and I. We own and operate the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We've got 13 agents on our team, and we're growing, looking to add new agents that are aggressive and want to help folks out. We would love to talk to you. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy, longtime friend of the program, great networker out in the community, doing a lot of great networking out there. And yeah, so every time these these types of shootings happen, and here goes the far left again, screaming and hemming and hawing about we've got to take away people's guns, we've got to control the guns. It really is kind of it's growing as like every time it happens every time.
It's annoying to the point because, as a gun owner or many gun owners, we're just as disgusted by these mass shootings. And then we also know, our rights are going to be taken away. We're the ones being punished for crazy people out there doing these kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous nowadays, but...
Yeah, it really is. And one of the stats that you don't hear about is that in Chicago, in the city of Chicago, I think it was over Labor Day weekend, there was 40-plus shootings?
25 shootings.
Yeah, and this happens.
That's every weekend.
Common occurrence.
But they're not considered mass shootings, so it doesn't play into the agenda. It doesn't get the news feed. But you know what? That is a place where they have the strictest gun laws, and you can't protect yourself out there. So I wouldn't move there. I wouldn't want to live there because I know every week someone's getting shot there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is, especially I think the South Side, and it's one of those things. They're looking to penalize the wrong people. It's not the gun carriers. It's not the guns. It's the FDA. It's the drugs involved with all these, these opioids and a lot of those scenarios playing out. And then, of course, they shift and say video games are affecting the kids. They're kind of distorting the reality of some children playing into that.
It's the social media, I think, a lot, where you're socializing yourself in your house and you don't even leave. Richard and I were talking about Uber Eats. You could have your food delivered to your house. You could have your dry cleaning delivered to your house. You never have to leave your house if you don't want to. Your grocery can be delivered, and you're on social media all day long. And you know what? Social media is a place for crazy bashing stuff there.
Yep.
You don't really get to look into the person's eyes and realize, oh wow, I just hurt that person's feelings.
Exactly.
People just type in there, and it makes people enraged. And especially if you're on these kinds of drugs that the doctors are prescribing you, or your kids that are melting your brains. You don't really know what this stuff does long-term effect yet.
Exactly.
And all these drugs that are in your system, and you if you are just a raged out person, you're going to have problems and issues and want to do mass destruction.
Yeah, it is. It's a situation where the lobbyist, the bureaucrats, the politicians, they have such a strong say in how these, and it's all about the framing effect. It's how they frame the conversation, and then from there, do they introduce legislation, and and they're also trying to get reelected. So at the same time, they're just going to repeat whatever their potential voters are going to say to them.
Sure.
I think it's more importantly, like, obviously we have elected officials that are, obviously it's above our pay grade to make sure they do their due diligence and putting laws into effect. But realistically, it's about looking at ourselves as a society and treating guns as, respect them. Obviously, not to treat them like just recreation. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to have more respect for it. And obviously us as parents,
we grow up believing in that, respecting and honor. That's why we have kids-free classes starting at 5 years old. We want to make sure that the kids can respect the firearm and not use it for any kind of destruction device.
Right.
These people that are doing these mass shootings, they've already broke 100 different laws and go out there and shoot people. Adding laws on top of laws is not going to stop any one of these people. Taking away firearms from good people is not going to stop any one of these mass shootings, because they all stop when a good guy with a firearm shows up.
Yeah.
We all know that, and that's the 100% fact. And every day, 28 people die from a DUI murder in a car, and then 345,000 people are injured in an accident because of DUIs. That's a lot of people. Should we make the cars only go 30 miles per hour?
Right.
Is that what we need to do? Because that would save lives. If you wreck, you're not going to die. You're only going 30 miles per hour.
Yeah.
No, that's not what you're going to do. That's not what legislature wants to do. That no one's screaming about how many people die every single day of these things. Just like alcohol, any kind of prescription drugs that people are dying from, should we only prescribe one per law? Is that what we should do? So, we really need to step back and look at how we can really stop this. And that's what everyone really wants, is to stop these mass shootings. I'm working on a program right now that I think will deter or stop mass shootings much, much more than something adding laws on top of laws. Because when you really think about it, the definition of chaos or insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and repeating with the same results.
Yeah.
That's what all these laws are. There's already 22,000 federal gun laws on book.
Wow.
You think adding another one is going to stop a mass shooter?
No, it's not.
Not at all.
So, Thomas, when we come back, I want to talk about this. You got an auction coming up at the Florida Firearms Academy September 8th, 1 to 3 p.m. Must register at the store. You got new firearms, shotguns, pistols, rifles, starting at $1 with no reserve. Sounds pretty cool right there.
How crazy is that?
I'm going to have to go throw down on that.
It's going to be insane.
So more from Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, Richard Garcia, USCCA, and our feel-good story of the day coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Colombians planted 200,000 trees in one day. Find out about that and more from our experts right here on Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate negotiations, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. Got a hot property listing here in Tampa. It's 5822 Schooner Way, waterfront, boat dock, pool, beautiful property right here with bay access out into the bay. It's kind of behind that Bahama Breeze area. Used to be Krabby Bill's over there. Great place. You can boat to dinner. 5822 Schooner Way. This property, it's gorgeous on the inside as well. Completely updated on the inside. Beautiful job with the remodel. And 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa, listed just around the $600,000 mark, I believe, is our price point on that one. We've got a property also in Tampa at actually Gun Highway. This one's 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa. Another vacant lot, vacant land available. So attention builders, developers, somebody that maybe just want a big home site. 2.39 acres available in Odessa, Florida. Corner lot. This is corner of Gun Highway and Racetrack Road. Very popular corner. We've got that corner on sale right now. 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa. Check out all of our properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill Restaurant, Deli, New York City Bar, Brooklyn Bakery, catering, banquets, and more. Home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. They've got a great ambiance, very friendly staff, and it's just a fun place to have a lunch or even a dinner. LuckyDillDeli.com. Online at LuckyDillDeli.com. All right, let's jump right into it. We got Thomas King in the house and also Richard Garcia. So let's open up with Richard here on this segment. So we're looking at being responsible as a gun owner, and a lot of times in those cases where you have to pull out your weapon, you are in essence committing a crime to stop a crime in some cases. And it seems like the fire department, or the police department, the sheriff, they have to arrest you. They have to take that action and then kind of sort out the details later. I think at least looking from an outside perspective, looking in, a lot of times that's what I've heard and seen. So how does your company come into play with that?
So obviously we preach responsibility, right? If you can avoid the situation altogether, then do it. But if it's worst case scenario that you have to pull your firearm and you have to engage the perp, or you have to use less than lethal, that's where we step into play. Mm-hmm. We provide excellent educational content prior, before, and obviously our members will either review videos that we have, our educational content through our pamphlets or our reading material. So they're, for the most part, really spun up. But if worst case scenario they are involved in a self-defense incident, then yes, that's where we'll come into play. We'll make sure that they're set up for bail. We'll make sure that we get them a lawyer, and then start going down that rabbit hole, right? When it comes to court costs, filing costs, sheriff costs, and all that, as well as protect them civilly as well, if they are found innocent criminally, because you have two sides of the coin, right?
Yeah.
Criminally, you can be found innocent, but civilly, you can be sued, and that's what is a scary situation for most families.
There was a case that just happened like that too, wasn't it? There was just one, it was something to the effect where the guy was getting robbed. He turned around and shot the robber, mm-hmm. and then the robber turned around and sued him and won.
Yeah, there's numerous situations like that.
There's cases like that every day.
You hear that craziness,
hear about them,
right?
Yeah. And it's important to have something in place, and it's important to get the training needed to be well equipped. Excuse me. And obviously, Florida Firearms Academy provides that. But most importantly, seek out training, especially mm-hmm. if you're looking to carry. Get as much training as possible, because it's very much a situation that you shouldn't get your information off of watching a movie or reading it through watching YouTube videos. It's about getting hands-on training, knowing obviously the legality portions as well, and knowing that if you can walk away from a situation, then do it. It's better to walk away than get involved in a situation where you have to unfortunately take a life, or get involved in a situation like that, because it's not only the ramifications for yourself but for your family as well, and then obviously the mental aspects as well, psychological aspects that you have to deal with.
And
it takes a toll on you.
It really does, yeah. So when you look at that, what's an example? Give us. Do you have a success story or maybe an example of something that you've seen? Because it's all about knowing when to pull your firearm out, when not to. Do you have any success stories or examples maybe of that situation playing out?
Like success stories and when somebody doesn't have to engage it. Well, we had one. It was down, I believe it was Wisconsin, Illinois. That where a USCCA member had, been well versed on our educational training content, did his research, was well informed. It was at a Walmart. Him and our member was walking out. They saw a individual get into a physical altercation with a female. From what I was told, it was a individual trying to get hands on with the woman. Mm-hmm. The optics was that this man was trying to either, take this woman away or try to get in a situation to where, something bad was going to happen.
Right.
So the member ended up telling his wife to go ahead, get somewhere safe. He was about to pull his firearm and engage the situation, but he didn't know the overall totality of the situation.
Right.
So he secured his firearm, approached the situation, what was going on. The woman ended up fleeing, and next thing you know, Walmart employees started coming out of the store and helping the man, which goes against what he saw. The individual ended up being an undercover police officer and was doing a sting on the situation for that woman. I believe was like robbing stores or stuff like that of that nature.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you have to know the situation. You have to know what's going on before you take that next action.
Well, first off, why do these stories always? It's a Walmart parking lot. It seems like it's a Walmart parking lot. So, but yeah, that's a good point.
You know that case that just recently happened at that convenience store. That guy was found guilty because he pulled his firearm out. He was shoved to the ground.
Yes.
And then he shot the young man right there. So knowing the laws is key. Having USCCA on your side is what gets you through it. Richard comes into Florida Firearms Academy, offers free classes, so you can come in, talk to him about it, let him give you all the information, how to get into it. If you own a firearm, you should definitely have this. This is for your benefit. So
Florida Firearms Academy location is the Oldsmar area, just to the east of the
flea market.
The flea market. And it's on the north side of Tampa Road, kind of where it turns to
Hillsborough.
Yeah, kind of.
They call it Hillsborough now.
Almost to the
We're
line
between
there.
West Chase and the flea market.
So the guy that got pushed, he went to his back, immediately grabbed his gun and shot the guy. He's guilty in that situation.
They were found guilty.
He was found
in
guilty
that situation, right?
Yeah.
I know there is a Florida stand your ground law, and a lot of people say he's innocent. A lot of people say he's guilty. If you don't know, the only time that I would ever pull my firearm out is if my life is an immediate threat, danger, where I feel my life is going to be taken from me.
Right.
I'm not going to be out on the road and some guy beeps a horn at me. I'm not going to pull a firearm out like idiots do these days.
That's ridiculous.
You know, and these people shouldn't even own a firearm.
And it all started with a confrontation. Don't be that bigger man. Don't try to, flex and try to get in somebody's face. I think he was parked, or he or she was parked in a county cat parking lot. Call a police officer. You don't need to get yourself in that situation.
Yep.
Call somebody. It could have went. The sad part is somebody's dead.
Yeah.
And somebody has to live with that on their conscience for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But if you can remove yourself from any situation like that, go ahead and do it. And that's what we preach is responsibility at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's interesting. That, the guy hit the ground, so then he could have argued that he was, he got pushed, his head hit the ground real hard. He was scared that he was going to pass out, and the guy would have beat him down. Like, there's so many ways that could be argued, but in the end, a Florida jury said he's guilty.
The jury said he was guilty, and that's what. And you know what? If you have to go in front of a jury, you never know which way it's going to go, no matter what.
Right.
So you better know your laws. You better know your stand your ground laws. You better have insurance or USCCA so they can actually come out and represent you. So
that's a great idea.
That's a lot of money you have to put down for a retainer for an attorney.
Oh yeah.
So that
most
saves
people
you
don't have that. Most people don't have 10% or 20.
They lose
2
their
months
house,
savings,
their car, just because of something that they maybe legally had to save their own life.
Right.
So why would you want to put up your house and your car just for an attorney fee, just to say, hey, you know what, I need to fight this in court and I'm going to win? But
that's right.
You got to have a representation. So
Florida Firearms auction at Florida Firearms Academy, September 8th, 1 to 3 p.m. Must register at the store. New new firearms, shotguns, pistols, rifles, starting at $1 with no reserve. That's coming up. Check out details at ffatampa.com, ffatampa.com, and of course, reach out to Thomas King, Richard Garcia as well, online at USCCA. Or CCA.
CCA.
Yes.
Oh, we got it. Somebody wrote it down wrong on my paper. Come on.
Who
did that?
All right. So, hey, awesome stuff. Great stuff here from Florida Firearms Academy. Go out there and check them out. They've got some great classes, and everybody is so willing to help. And you got a lot of former military, law enforcement folks there. So it's a great peeps to be hanging out with over at Florida Firearms Academy. We'll be right back after this short break. Colombians planted 200,000 trees in one day. Right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We want to help you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. And check us out online, consumerqb.com, or our real estate company website, platinummvpteam.com. Buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. Got a hot listing here. This is a duplex. If you any investors out there looking for some passive income, 2703 63rd Terrace. This one's in St. Petersburg. 2703 63rd Terrace. Now, this is a gorgeous property. It's renovated, and it's a great opportunity to own 2 rental incomes in one real estate asset. Great property here in the duplex in the subdivision of Sawgrass in St. Petersburg. You live in one side, rent the other out. That's a great start to your real estate investment career. And 1401 Seminole Boulevard got some vacant land available in Pinellas County, which is hard to come by. This is a commercial asset corner lot right on the corner of Seminole Boulevard. Great opportunity here. Potential for use would be ideal for office, medical, retail, restaurant, goods and services. And you got 200 feet of frontage on Seminole Boulevard with high visibility, daily traffic count per the FDOT. Hot real estate properties. Check out platinummvpteam.com. All of our listings are at platinummvpteam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard in Treasure Island. And it's filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for many years. Whether you're planning a quick business trip that when you want to add a little beachside pleasure or a family weekend getaway, this is a great place to do it. The Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Make sure you book directly. Don't book on one of those other websites, those discount sites. You actually get the best pricing by booking directly through the Bilmar Beach Resort. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I want to remind you, we got our event coming up for the Veterans and Heroes, our first responders and seniors. Veterans and Heroes Real Estate Success Summit coming up on Thursday, September 12th, 6 to 8:30 p.m. Free event, catered food from Amici's Catered Cuisine. Real estate experts, credit experts, insurance experts, all going to be speaking there at this event. And it's all about helping the veterans and the first responders and the seniors and, even teachers, medical profession, helping them understand about some of the benefits that they have, especially think about some of the soldiers coming back from overseas, PTSD. They don't know where to start with a lot of these different types of benefits. We're going to help them with that at the Veterans and Heroes Real Estate Success Summit, Thursday, September 12th, 6 to 8:30 at the American Legion, post number 5, which is 3810 West Kennedy Boulevard in Tampa. So we'd love to see you there. Check it out on eventbrite.com. We got a Facebook page out there as well. Just search up the Veterans and Heroes Real Estate Success Summit. All right, in studio today, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy in the house. We have Richard Garcia as well. USCCA is his company as well. So, yeah, we talk a lot about the different political plays here. Let's bring it inside the home. Let's bring it inside the family here for a moment. What would be good advice? Like some people, they didn't grow up in a hunting family or they didn't grow up in those types of things. What's something that a young family needs to know? I think about home invasions. There's a lot of home invasions happening. People don't know that those actually happen.
Right. For self-defense, I would always say, keep your lights on. If you have a camera system, if you can afford it, get that. Make sure you have good door locks and make sure your doors aren't kick-inable. Yep. And if you don't want to do firearm safety or training or classes, there's also mace. There's also wasp spray people use. There's bats. So there's many kinds of things. But when someone shows up with a gun, that's not going to stop them. And this is happening more and more and more of these invasions. So we offer women's tactical training. If you're a single mom, come out and take the class with Miss Rose. It's $40 to learn how to do move and shoot, multiple targets, mandatory reloads. And not only that, we also do it for sport too as well. We have 40 different types of classes for shotgun, home defense, pistol or rifle, home defense. There's so many different classes for your CWP, anything from basic pistol all the way up till your tactical training. So
wow, yeah, that's awesome. I think the women particularly need to have at least a minimum carry pepper spray in your purse. Have a nice firearm. A lot of times they say have just a 38 or some type of revolver. That way it's not going to be as prone to
Well, there's many firearms out there now that are very easy to use, very easy to control, to rack or chamber or slide. Once you've taken the class, you're going to get it. You know it. It's just like riding a bike. Oh, that's how you do it. Yep. There's people that come shoot with us every day, and they may have been shooting for 10 years, and when we watch them, they're just doing it incorrectly. If they really just took the class, they're going to realize, oh, wow, now my shooting is improved 100%. So.
Yeah.
Do your research. Like, anytime you buy a firearm, it should be like buying a car. Like, go into the store, have an open mind. Don't go off of what somebody said, like, you should buy this. Go in, obviously go off of what the person behind the glass is kind of recommending to you, and obviously what feels right, go and shoot, and then make that purchase.
Yeah.
For home invasion, especially here in Florida, we have so many bars. People like to go out and drink. And then there's situations where an individual might mistakenly think that that's their house, and they might have a home invasion as such like that. So know the totality of the situation before, if you pull out your firearm, give as much warning as possible. Get on 911, tell them that, tell them the situation, and obviously, tell them, get back, get as much instructions as possible to obviously alleviate or kind of divert that situation altogether.
What about a warning shot? Pros and cons. There's
no
pros
warning
and cons,
shots,
right?
I would never do a warning shot. If you shoot, you're shooting.
Yeah, because you don't know where that round's going to go, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody may get hit.
You'll be held accountable for
absolutely.
that too. So
Yeah, because you got to know where every bullet comes out, where it went, where it was intended.
The thing that most people used to say was just rack your shotgun. Well, that's actually a horrible thing to do, to be honest with you, because now you just gave away your position and your location.
Yeah.
And also now you just spent one of your rounds, or you may have jammed or when you're chambering another round in there. So you want to make sure that if in a home invasion where this person is out to take your life or your family's life, you're going to make sure you have the jump on the person.
Yeah. So. We're talking with Florida Firearms Academy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thomas King, also Richard Garcia, USCCA here in studio. What are some other common misnomers? Because I think that was a big one. Rack the gun,
you
fire
hear that
warning
from a
shot.
lot of people. Even former vice president said that, I think, and when they said when there's a bad guy out there, you rack it from the inside and they're going to run away. Many people don't even know what that noise is, or what, that person may not even have a gun. Maybe they are drunk, like Richard was just saying. So the best thing is to get it on 911. Make sure you let them know, hey, and if you have to defend your life or your family's life, then you go ahead and do it. But if an officer is on his way and he's there quicker, we'll let them take care of the situation for you, because you don't want to be mistaken as the bad guy with the firearm standing there, right, in your own home. The officer, when he shows up, doesn't know who's the good or bad guy. There's no sign above your head. So knowing the laws, talking with Richard here with USCCA, and also with us at Florida Firearms Academy during our classes, Richard's in there as well, you're going to figure it out and know the laws and what you should and shouldn't do.
Yeah.
So.
Have a plan in place. Obviously, teach your kids. Know they should be well versed in it. Just be almost like a fire drill in your home, and then practice your verbal judo. Right, you should be able to downplay the situation, be able to talk it out of it, and use that as your toolbox, right? And then the last resort is obviously using your firearm in situations like that.
And buying a firearm or trying to get training if you're an FFA member, you get to try 70 different pistols, rifles, shotguns free of charge. If you're not a member, it's $30 to try them all. That is the best way if you're looking to purchase a firearm. That way you're going to know if it fits your hand, if it's going to work, the recoil on it, and if you can shoot it correctly and accurately, that's the firearm that you should purchase then.
Yeah, I like what you said, Richard, when you talked about verbal judo. That's an interesting, because I study negotiation, and it's basically a psychological game that's being played between a buyer and a seller. Two counterparts when they're trying to come to an agreement on a buy or sell price for a car or a house or any salary negotiations, right? So it's kind of like a verbal judo there, and the more that you can utilize tactical empathy, if you can utilize empathy, you can use mirrors and labels is what they talk about in the negotiation. Of a mirror is simply repeating the last 1 to 3 words that person said. So that's going to make them feel like you understand where they're coming from.
And you're listening.
And you're summarizing and you're listening. And then a lot of times they're going to come back from that and they're going to say, this guy's all right. He's interesting.
Especially when you're using verbal judo in a situation in a self-defense. Hopefully you're shouting that, you're screaming that, because everybody's listening to you, right? And that's going to be the last thing they say if it gets to a point where you use your firearm. Like this individual was shouting instructions to say, get back, I fear for my life, please sir, I don't want to use my firearm. and then you have that used with you, right? And more than likely, people are going to recording you than help you out. So they have that on a video as well. Yeah. So the more verbal drill that you are comfortable saying to somebody on instructions, the better your situation.
And you should practice that. If you've never practiced that, if you just yell out, please get on the ground, they're not going to comply with that. Yeah. Especially if they're a drunk person, they're not really going to comply with much. So make sure if you have someone with a video, have them get that on video as well, so you know that you're going to be covered too when you come out and see USCCA, and they're going to come out and represent you. So
when we come back, I want to talk more specifically about kids, how to prep the kids for guns in the home. Sometimes they're beside the bed. There are different places in the home. I want to talk to you about kids, and I also want to talk about a recent episode of the Chappelle comedy, stand-up comedy. I had David Chappelle. He was talking about how the schools now have these active shooter trainings and how. So I want to save that punchline for when we come back. Also, Colombians planted 200,000 trees in one day. Our feel-good story of the day is a good one. We'll be right back after this short break here. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles here with that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day, and today's story is a good one here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Tell me something good.
All right, so Colombians planted 200,000 trees in one day as part of the reforestation strategy to plant 180 million trees in the country over the next 4 years. Colombians planted 200 trees in one day. Through the Bosque de Vida seeding, 200,000 trees were planted throughout the department thanks to joint work between the community and the environmental, local, and regional authorities of Antigua. These trees had the goal of the National Development Plan Pact for Columbia. The pact is to plant 180 million trees in the country over the next 4 years, and more than 400 people joined in the planting of 200,000 trees in 125 municipalities. Quote, today in the sowing of Antigua, 200,000 trees were planted, and in 2 months we will be able to plant 400,000 more, says Ricardo Lozano, the Minister of Environment. So that's pretty cool. That's good stuff. And then, we got the Amazon. That's a lot of good. That's a lot of good in the community right there, I'll tell you. And then you got the Amazon rainforest. I heard it's kind of
the fires
in trouble right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Canada put some money towards it. It's like, that's a big one right there, man.
That's devastating to all the land out there.
Yeah, all the oxygen in the world, a lot of it comes from that forest down there. That's pretty crazy. All right, so here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, this segment is brought to you by WholeBodyFuel.com, the official meal delivery service of the Consumer Quarterback Show, WholeBodyFuel.com. Chef prepared by Chef Brian Adamo himself. The whole team does a great job over there. Convenient, healthy, organic meals delivered directly to your home or office. They also have the world-famous protein donuts. So what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? Get healthy and reach out to WholeBodyFuel.com. And we got a hot listing here for this segment. We got 7519 Pier Road in Port Richey. This is a commercial asset just to the west side of US 19 in Port Richey. Great opportunity here, commercial opportunity for development. Could be a car lot, all types of opportunities there at this beautiful property in Port Richey. We also have a property here let's look at 4309 East Frierson. This is a property in Tampa that's prime for development, vacant land. The owner tells me you can put 8 units on this property, 4309 East Frierson Avenue in Tampa. Some vacant land opportunities. We got commercial properties, residential properties. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, so in studio today we got Florida Firearms Academy, Thomas King in the house, also Richard Garcia, USCCA, and Florida Firearms having an auction on September 8th, 1 to 3 p.m. You must register at the store, and you've got new firearms including shotguns, pistols, rifles, starting at $1 with no reserve. So it's a great auction that's going to be going on that day, and you have to be present. Over 40 different types of classes, kids classes, first-time active shooter classes, educational classes. Check out Florida Firearms Academy on Facebook or FFATampa.com. So Thomas King's in the house. What's your favorite class?
Well, I love training people how to shoot really fast on target. So I like doing competition shooting. So I have a class where if you want to shoot 4 shots on target in 1 second, I have people come out saying, no way will I ever be able, ladies saying, no way. Once they do it with me, they're like, oh, it's just like riding a bike. Once you know and you figure it out and you go, oh, okay, I get it now, and you get the training, now you can do it. And then they're like, oh, I got to do competition now. I didn't know I could do stuff like this. And they're excited about it. But I do have to talk about this auction for a second. And this auction is going to be insane. We're doing this whole with the warehouse ourselves, inventory. It's going to be at least $100,000 to $300,000 in inventory. Wow. It's going to be insane. There's going to be tents outside, but there's a live auctioneer that's doing this, and you have to come in and register to get your bidding number. If you don't, we probably won't let you in because it's going to be so packed. And we do have pistols, rifles, shotguns at $1, brand new, no reserve. We're going to have scopes, red dots, Dan Westons. We're going to have just 50 caliber Barretts. I mean, we're going to have just about everything. Bags. It's going to be an amazing, fun event, and we just love doing this kind of stuff. So
that's going to be what, a 2-hour event?
Yeah, it's 1 to 3 o'clock, and the range will still be open. We canceled all classes for the day because there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people. If you don't get there early, you're probably not going to get a seat, and you're probably not going to be able to get in, to be honest with you. So.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And so you can go and buy. You can buy almost any type of accessory that you need, shotguns,
you can bid on it. So one of a lot of these guns, we're gonna have a lot of them at $1. So let's say if it sells. 2 people bid on it, it's $2. Well, of course, it cost me $300 to $400, so I'm only going to sell 1. If it gets up there in price, then I may let 25 of them go. I mean, we may just sell the whole lot of them. So there's going to be hundreds of lots. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool.
But the other fun class that I love to teach is our free kids safety class, and that comes with a firearm, comes with ammo, comes with the target, the instructor, the class, the range fee, the eyes and ear protection, and you do get a certificate at the end. But the look on these kids' faces, this is 5 to 17 years old. after shooting a firearm, they just want to get more ammo and go back on a range. So it's just a lot of fun. It's their first time doing it. So I always tell the parents to video it to make sure that they get their first time shoot on video there.
Yeah, because they've seen it on TV so long, and they're like, oh, wow, this is what this is really
it's
about.
It's not like the video games or TV. So once they do it, they're like, wow, that's amazing. So,
yeah, a little different than Fortnite, right?
But yeah, exactly. But it takes that, that edge away from them trying to find the gun in the house, because now they've done it. They know what it's all about, and they know how to handle it, and they know what they should do if they should come across firearms. So that's the main
safety.
part.
What do you say to parents? Hey, if you're going to have a gun, you're not going to lock it up. You want to have it accessible for nighttime or whatever. How does that play out?
Florida law states that you do have, if you're under 18, you do have to have it locked up.
Okay.
There's many ways you can lock it up where you can get to it very, very quick and accessible. But you want your kids, I would personally want my kid to know this is the firearm. Don't go near it. If you know how to respect it, now you've taken a class, so now they know not to go near it. And if they do, that's their butt. So you got to teach their kids right from wrong, and that's the thing that we don't do. We don't tell them anymore. So we want to make sure that the kids know, so they don't mess with it and they don't get hurt.
Okay, so I was watching the Chappelle latest comedy skit, right? And the guy goes off on all types of different, Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, all these things, right? But he did one about school shooting. They do these active shooter classes now. And he says, the thing that I don't get is that you're teaching kids to fear, something that they really can't control. Wild man comes in with the automatic gun. It's how are the kids actually? So, and I guess the punchline of his joke is that, aren't the kids that you're teaching in the classroom probably going to be the ones that come and say, oh, wait, where are we hiding again? Where is everybody going to be hiding again? That was the punchline of the joke. But
it's sad, but true.
It's interesting. Do you agree with these types of classes, or are they an overreach for educational bureaucrats?
Well, I'll give my 2 cents, and then I think it puts so much fear into them. I think if you really want to teach somebody about any kind of mass shooting, is the people that should be there protecting you, security guards, police officers, how to stop this mass shooting. Not the event of, hey, this is a scary video we're going to have you watch, and this is what could happen to you. I think that's just a bunch of bull.
I think it's scary for the kids too.
It's important to have something in place, right? It's obviously the school district's overall go ahead if they want to do the Guardian program. I know that's been spearheaded in Florida. I know some school districts are hiring security teams. So let adults take care of that and have a security plan in place, and then obviously treat it as practice securing the school. Obviously have a drill to where they hunker down, everybody's on the same page. Don't allow any slip ups on that, because that's going to cost lives. But yeah, showing a scary video is not going to teach these kids anything. And then obviously just talking about it, being real about it, because kids will understand. Especially this is the day and age, and they got to be obviously
how to bolt the doors. That's what you want to make sure. Where do they hide? Where do they get away from them? Any mass shooting, this is what they're praying for. I hope they don't come and find me, and I hope a good guy with a gun shows up to stop them.
Right.
Whether it's a police officer or someone that's a legal, law-abiding, concealed carrying permit holder.
That's right. All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy.
Well, I would highly suggest that if you're a single parent, or even if you have mother, father there, you are your first responder in any kind of event, in any situation, wherever you may be. We do 40 different types of training. We are 13 different instructors there. You can come in and take pirate classes. Our classes start at free of charge for some people. For first-time shooters, that's everything's included, or it can go up to $40, or if you're doing private classes, could be $99, depending on the class that you want. It is very important where if you just want to do it for sport, for competition, or defense, we also teach these classes. So you are the first responder. If you're going to call someone for help and wait for them to be on the way, it may be too late. So do everything you can to protect yourself and your family.
That's right. Good stuff. Richard Garcia, USCCA.
Yes, so I would recommend being that responsible gun owner, and get as much educational content and obviously as much lessons as possible. Go to Florida Firearms Academy, seek out training, and obviously go through our website, USCCA.com, and look at what we provide our members. The training as well as the membership program for our gun owners, as well as for individuals doing less than lethal. and it's the most comprehensive package put together for them. So go to our website, look what we have to offer, and take that next step. So
yeah, that's awesome. And got to be prepared. Got to think ahead, have foresight, and not just wait and think that it's not going to happen to me. Too many people go out and buy the lottery ticket and think that they're going to win. Get their hopes up for winning.
That's the scary
and then the
part.
opposite side is oh, this will never happen to me. I'll never have a physical altercation or somebody invading my home or all these types of scenarios that play out. So hey, another great show today. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, thanks so much.
Thank you.
For coming in. Richard Garcia, USCCA, thanks for coming in. Thanks to all our listeners, viewers out there. Our whole production team put the show together. We really appreciate you, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, and hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Big.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.